Tricolor, boy. Yeah.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the books is in. The books are in. Yep. They in. They're here.
Log in to KofiPaisaTV.com and get Spears of the Mossy Volume 1 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, from Spears the Pen Volume 2 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, Spiritual Combat Volume 3 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, One Night Before Bed by Any Harret Shun Calfunny, Kalawa's Trip to the Motherland by Kofi Paisa, From Cocaine to Consciousness by Any Harret Shun Calfunny, As I Learned, We All Learn by Kofi Paisa. Also, if you want fresh merch, go to our online store, Family Connect Apparel, and get all the brands. Also, get our 54 deck of quiz and educational cards available now on KofiPaisaTV.com.
All right. First, I want to say peace, 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 and Black African power. ETM Hotel. Dua. Hold on.
Five more live here.
ETM Hotel. Dua, Aku, Dua Nature. Fatmu Alafie. Fatmu Riwi. Fatmu Iwa Pele. Majuba Iba Ie Gungun. Majuba Iba Ie Gungun. Majuba Iba Ie Lakba. Majuba Iba Ie Lakba. Igungun Kiki Igungun. We always want to give honor and praises to the ancestors, because without the ancestors, we wouldn't be here. We are our ancestors. I also want to stand honor and praises to the true and living elders according to African traditions and from an African worldview and from an African perspective. All right, I'll digress and give it to the rest of the brothers on the panel.
Hey man, peace to the fam. Peace to everybody that's coming through. Make sure as you come in, you please like the show and please share the show. We're about to get into an open bill here, a good discussion. So I'll let the rest of my brothers introduce themselves and we'll get into it.
ETM Hotel, Rennie Sean. Welcome to Peace. My name is Sean. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Please like the show, share the show. Important information we're about to get into today. So join the conversation, be a part of it, and share with like-minded individuals and bring them on.
Peace, everybody. It's your brother Satepa Ron. Mariaman. I hope y'all enjoy the show today. We get it popping.
All right, well, Sean, I'll let you open it up, and then with what you got, and then we'll segue into the discussion. I'll throw up my article real quick and just run through something with what the topic is going to deal with the first part of the discussion, and then we'll come in with the second part of the discussion. And if anybody else that wants to join the panel a little bit later in the discussion, y'all, we'll put the link out there and y'all can jump on and y'all can give y'all input, y'all can give y'all opinions, y'all can give y'all facts and etc. Why the thing on me,
Well,
man?
thank you, Kofi, for being such a polite gentleman today. Despite the fact that you took that red dye out of your head.
Yeah, it's go.
So we appreciate you.
Okay, now zoom me out, bro.
I zoomed you out. What you mean?
Right.
You good?
Bro.
Okay. All right, so in 2016, I wrote an article about restoring eldership and its role in the African community. Not too many people actually read this article. It's on Memoirs of Menutu, as you can see, linked with Voices of Fire. It's at a time that I actually did this. So I just want to read a little bit of it, and then we're going to transition off of that because we got a lot to unpack, and we want to make this clear. So let me start. Again, all over Africa, elders are respected and trusted as mediators, facilitators, and repositories of knowledge and wisdom. Indeed, in African societies, the elders are considered to be the vast reservoirs of the collective wisdom that has been accumulated over time. But despite their wealth of knowledge, the important role of the elders in Western society has been lost, says Ampere Mueller of the SARS Center for Conflict Resolution. All right. Since being removed from the motherland, it seems we have lost our connection to our traditional African values, deeply engraved in our African consciousness. Our traditions, customs, language, respect for elders, and ma'at were vital practices we centered ourselves around. With the influence of being kidnapped, chattel slavery, rape, public lynching, self-hate, depression, alcohol, drugs, mass incarcerations, lack of education, and so much more, it's easy to lose sight on the things we've once held in high regard. Even through all the agony, pain, and suffering, intimidation, and mistreatment by our oppressor, how do we gather the nerve to disrespect, dumb down, and dismiss our elders? We have allowed the colonizer to set the rules of engagement. Therefore, we no longer seek counsel from our elders. Yet we look to the West in her thuggish, narcissist, disdain mannerism. And I meant that. In doing so, we have become that which we have grown to resent. The elders, Bakulu, Akbani, Nasu, Heka, Hekau, Hogan, etc., are the embodiment of wisdom, and it is wisdom that saves our foolishness, which can bring catastrophic disharmonies to a society. Of course, that comes from Asar Imhotep. Currently, we have become a society who refuses to seek wisdom from our elders, and now our communities are in disarray. Have we ignored the voices of the ancestors and replaced it with drugs, alcohol, depression, hatred, and grief? I recall a time when I used to walk to the corner store and run into a bunch of older men in the community who occasionally would hang out drinking. And as I passed by each one of them, they would offer me advice about life and the importance of making good decisions. I would look at their situation and just shake my head because I was able to relate, but couldn't relate to their struggle. Today, I have a different perspective because I understand the African principle of eldership. The kids today seem different because not only is there a communication barrier due to age, but they also seem far removed from listening to anything anyone has to say. Today's youth are not only difficult to mentor, they are also intimidating due to their fits of rage, anger, and aggression. True elders have since been phased out, and I can't recall a time here recently that we witnessed the same level of respect we once had. The days when our great-grandmothers and fathers would sit at the kitchen table sharing knowledge with their grandchildren seem to be over. My great-grandmother, who transitioned a few years ago, used to tell me all kinds of stories about life, the struggle, the things she endured, the things she's seen, and the things she saw others overcome despite slavery. We called her the Rock. Everybody got one of them in their family, right? This is the family's personal savior, our glue. She was more than all of us combined because she practically instilled all that we know in every one of us. Our children are missing that rock, partly because we have forgotten so much about the importance of we. We only know ourselves and we tend to take that for granted, the knowledge and the wisdom of our elders. Now, I want to make this clear and then I'm going to pass it. Who are the elders and what role do they play in African family? They are believed to be the teachers and the directors of the young. Among the effect, it is said the words of one's elders are greater than amulets, which means they give more protection than the amulet does. In the same way, the Igbos say, he who listens to an elder is like one who consults the oracle. The oracles are believed to give the infallible truths. Thus, the elders are believed to say the truth, and their words and instructions are heeded for the promotion of good behavior among the young. I want you to clearly understand what I am saying here when I get ready to close. So I'm going to say this very slowly. The oracles are believed to give the infallible truths. See, truth is a big deal here for me. Now, it says the market life in our village in African writing, that's the source for that. Traditionally, the elders carried the rock-like quality in the community. We could look to them for guidance and wisdom. It didn't matter if we knew them our whole lives or only for a few days. If we needed them, we knew where to find them. So I'm going to stop right here. There's not much left in the actual article. And I want to actually speak to this and I want to give out this quote. Your elder may not be my elder because how I see elders from my worldview, from my understanding of my natural world and the concepts and the customs and the traditions of my ancestors, which I try to embody and pattern my life behind. So you could say someone is your elder, but that doesn't mean he's my elder. So if you feel like I'm disrespecting your elder, trust me, I am not intentionally trying to do it, but based on the foundation, the principal foundation of African traditions, practices, customs, the whole 9 yards, they just don't embody eldership. They embody westernized ideology of a concept that has been taken out of that has been created within themselves and projected on you so that they can use that to manipulate you down the road or currently. So the Igbos say, and I'm not going to read what the Igbos say per se, I'm going to read the translation. That is, the elder is the gun, the younger man is Igu. If there is no Igu in the gun, it cannot fire and sound. If there is no gun, Igu would have nowhere to rest. Rested thus becomes useless. This symbolism is concerned with the complementary roles of the old and the young in life and in affairs of African people. That's me. I'm out.
All right. Man, you said a lot of good things. I'm going to share my screen real quick. And again, what he just stated was that, and I say this all the time in the opening. I always say Majuba Iba E Gungun Majuba. I always want to give thanks to the ancestors. I also say Majuba Iba E Ilakba Majuba Iba E Ilakba, which means I'm giving thanks or extending honors and respect to the elders. And I always say according to an African tradition or from an African perspective or from an African worldview. And what Sean just stated, such as just because this person is your elder does not make him my elder. I'm looking at the characteristics, I'm looking at the qualifications. So from an African worldview and from an African perspective, those people that a lot of people that are calling out to be elders, I deem them not to be my elders because they're not qualified to be because I look at everything from an African worldview and from an African perspective. So I'm gonna pull up real quick and then we'll go into the bill screen real quick. Sharing. Am I sharing? No. why my screen? Okay, there it is. All right. Let me go here. Let me share. Am my screen sharing?
No.
Nah.
Kofi done kicked himself off the show.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
All right. Let me share my screen, man. My thing was messing up. All right, let me know. All right. Share my screen. Let me go here real quick. Let me know y'all can see this article. Can y'all see the article?
Nah, I don't see nothing.
Hello?
I don't see it.
What about anybody else? Because I'm sharing my screen.
I see
Hold
the
on.
box down there where you trying to share it.
Okay. Add the screen.
There you go.
All right. Y'all can see it now. What is an elder?
Yeah, it's up there now.
All right, man. I'm having technical. Okay, but Sean wrote an article. I also wrote an article on Kofi Paisai written composition. It is called "What is an Elder and What is the Role of an Elder." So I'm not gonna read the whole article. People have read the article. Some people have not read the article. I'm gonna just go down to what is an elder. An elder is a guardian of the culture, tradition, and history of people. Integrity. Listen to these things. Listen again. Am I still on? Can y'all still hear me?
Yep.
All right, man. My thing freezing up. But what is an elder? Elder is a culture, tradition, and history of a people. Integrity, generosity, wisdom, articulateness, subtle, patience, tactfulness, gratefulness, and being listened and respectful by others all qualifies as an elder. Understandable with eldership, one status is value in the community rises. What is the role of an elder? The primary work of an elder is to advise, to guide, and to oversee the living in the community. Their fundamental values and purpose lies in teaching the young what it means to be a human. The elders knows the traditional history, the values, brief cultural laws that is inviolated. According to the experience of wisdom of the of elders, it is readily sought and freely shared with others. Elders are in charge with the task of understanding both the material and spiritual requisition life. It is thought to be an honor to even be in the presence of an elder. They serve as a link between the past and the present, are guaranteed to our way of life to extend to the future. So I want y'all to pay carefully attention to where it says integrity, generosity, wisdom, patience, tactfulness, and gratefulness. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen right there. Am I still on?
Yeah, Kofi.
I'm saying, so y'all didn't see the article? Y'all didn't hear me read the article?
Yeah.
Okay. My thing is
Yeah.
messing up. I'm finna have to change. Okay, I'm finna have to read laptop. So I wanted y'all to pay attention to what
Can you hear Satep?
Yeah, I can hear Satep. I can hear him. So I just want y'all to pay attention to what a role of an elder is. Some of the same qualifications that Sean read down a while ago when it comes to the qualifications of an elder. And even we'll maybe get into the rites of passage on even how to become an elder, because a lot of the people that we are claiming to be elders are nothing but elders. Again, a lot of the people that we are claiming to be elders are nothing but elders. And it's a difference between an elder and it's a difference between an elder in African tradition. So first, I want to just throw out a question to, people on the panel, people in the chat. And Unc, I put the link in there. Y'all put the link back in there again. So Unc wanted to jump on, and Corey Concrete, and any other body want to jump on, y'all can jump on, man.
Unc don't know elder, man. We ain't dealing with Unc.
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying he's going to jump on
too.
I just messing with you.
Okay. So, is there a disconnect between the elders in this generation? And what I mean by disconnect between the elders in this generation is, we know that when we go back and we study and we talk about some of the greats, when we mention Dr. Ben, or we mention John Henry Clark, or Aisha Hillier, or Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, or James G. Jackson, any of these people names, we mention these elders' names. They had many students that sat at the feet of these elders. They was very accessible to these elders. These elders were setting the right example, I believe, just from the works that I have read. And these elders had integrity. These elders spoke freely. They spoke truthfully. So is there a disconnect, or do y'all believe that it's a disconnect between the elders and this generation?
You wanna answer right now?
Yeah, I mean, whatever, anybody on the panel.
Yeah, there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. A huge one.
I agree. What about you, Satep and Sutek? Are we just imagining that there is a disconnect between this generation and the elders?
I definitely think it's a disconnect, and the points that y'all made earlier is very key. All elders are not elders, and then too, some elders to somebody else might not be necessarily an elder to you. Like we were just talking about in the back chat before we started, like like some of these people, we were throwing out a couple of names in the back chat. We probably ain't gonna throw them out right now, but like these people ain't my elders. These people ain't my elders. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't got no problem saying that they might be an elder to these people over here, and that's cool. But you're not my elder, and that don't mean that I don't have a certain respect for you. But that just means that I didn't sit at your feet, like you just said, Kofi. Like I wasn't influenced by you. Like I said again, like that doesn't mean that it's a lack of respect. But like we can't claim everybody. Everybody ain't my elders. But yeah, man, all elders ain't elders. So some of these people that are up in age, we just using the term elder, and I think a lot of times we misuse it. So yeah, it's a huge disconnect with the youth and or this generation and with the elders. And I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah, I kind of like what you said, Sutek, and I think it aligns with what the disconnect is, because I'm on the fence about this one. And the reason why is because the reason why you said, Sutek, I think the elders, when they say when they saying what they saying basically we not showing them the proper respect. To what you were saying, Sute, you got a level of respect for them, but I don't think that they see the level of respect given by the youth, which would be me, definitely me. Because like I was saying in the chat one day, you know, I was talking to Sutek. I was like, that person old enough to be your granddad, because that's just how I was raised. Like somebody who older than you got to show them that level of respect because they older than you. That's just how I was raised. So I mean, I got a different perspective on it than y'all do. I definitely understand where y'all coming from with it though. Like you ain't gotta, like I'm not about to bow down to you because you older than me. I get that part, but I am gonna show you a certain level of respect because you've been here longer than me. Now, just because you've been here longer than me, don't necessarily mean you know more than me, but you definitely are a lot wiser than me. Because I can tell you, I'm way more wiser than I was. I'm 32. I'm way more wiser than I was at 22. Just by being on the earth, just 10 extra years. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. My perspective on it is a little different than y'all's is.
Well, and I'll toss it to Concrete, and then Sean can elaborate some more too, and I can too. But my perspective is the same. I'm a country boy. I'm from Mississippi, so the same thing that you have, I have. But you know, I the level of giving people respect because they older than me and they've been here. Now, that used to be my mindset because that's my grandmother raised me, so she taught me that. She taught me to respect those who are older than me. But once I became an advocate of trying to find out the perspective and the way of life of our ancestors and studying the rites of passages and studying those different demarcation stages of life in order to become an elder, someone has to gain the right to become an elder. Someone has to gain the right. Someone has to be qualified, and not because of their age or how long they've been here before me. Because just because you are older than me does not make you my elder. And I'll give you an example of that. We have people that are, I have people that are older than me. I could tell my age, but I'm not gonna tell my age.
Go ahead,
And I'm older than a lot of people. Well, I'm 43. I'm 43 finna be 44 years of age in about 3 more months. So I'm a middle-aged man. So people that are 20 years or 10 years older than me, I do not deem them to be my elder. Growing up and coming from the country, Mississippi, and my grandmother teaching me being a grandmother's baby, and my grandmother's telling me, and throughout my years of, you have to respect their person because of their age. Now, I don't do that anymore because it's more than your age. It what comes with you calling yourself an elder. Is you qualified to be an elder? We got elders that are older than me that is out there selling poison in our community. We got elders that's in the community that is not setting a right example by not taking care of their children. We got elders that's in the community that is destroying the youth in their own community. And just because they're older than me, I would never ever say that they are my elders, and I would never ever give them that type of respect or level of respect because they've been here 10 years or they've been here 11 years or 20 years more than I have. Because sometimes with age, they say with age comes wisdom. And I don't see that a lot where I'm coming from, and I'm speaking for myself. Where I come from in this town, I don't see, because one is up in age, he has wisdom. Because I can show you, or I can go back to where I come from, what we call Italy cartel, and I can show you some people that's been doing the same thing since I've been a little boy, and still doing the same thing, and they 50 and 60 years old, and they still doing the same thing. So they did not wisen up in age because they are still doing the same thing. So they do not meet the qualifications or criteria for me to call themselves an elder, or even tell them yes, sir, or no, sir. I wouldn't dare follow any of their guidance, because an elder, one of his roles is guidance. So how would someone guide me that is destroying their community, that is destroying themselves, that is destroying their family, give me any type of guidance? Someone that is always negative, when you come to them for guidance, they tell you you can't do that. That's impossible to do. So that person is not an elder to me, because he does not meet that qualification. He does not meet the qualifications according to an African perspective, because that I only look at things from an African worldview. I don't look at it from a Western perspective. I don't look at it from my colleagues' perspective. I look at it from my ancestors' perspective. So just because you are older, and again, in African traditions, when you go through your rites of passages, those are demarcation stages. And a lot of people that becomes up in age does not be initiated into eldership. They become elders in their community. So I'll stop right there, and we got Corey, Corey, and then Sean. Well, Sean, let Sean go, then Corey, and then go. Let them follow up on that same question, because Sean said that yes, there is a disconnect also.
Yeah, the disconnect it has everything to do with I see what Satepara is saying about the respect level, because someone being older than you, but somebody had to teach you that. But where's their respect for you when you have the same qualifications as they have? It doesn't come to that. So to succumb to eldership just from learning and understanding and knowing what that looks like for me, it requires not only a sacrifice, but the ability to be forthright and truth. And the moment that you lie to me, the moment that you mislead me, the moment that you play on my ignorance, the moment that you tell me this is so, or the moment that I can't question you in disagreement, you begin to show that you really don't understand the things that you're trying to sell to people. Because I understand that you own and operate a business, but you're using Africa as a commercialization product for you to pitch to those in the community who don't know anything better. So specifically speaking, eldership is earned. Like Kofi, when you brought up the rites of passage, the rites of passage signifies completion of something, right? Meaning you went through something, you completed that in which you went through, and you have earned. You know what I'm saying? Bestowing is just like with trust. Bestowing trust on the people, man, is our biggest problem. Our trust has always been taken advantage of. So when people are like under the impression of, oh yeah, I can trust Samaj, or I can trust this person, or I can trust that person, man, they are really going to deceive you in one way or the other, because you put out that trust. And you know, you may not feel it or think of it in any type of way, but I'm just gonna shoot it straight. Like the moment you show me your hand, I just can't see you the same. When you ain't even, you know, walking in that right path and saying the things and this, that, and the third, I can't even trust that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when my grandmothers and or all the religious people tell me when I was a kid, when I was 7 or 8 years old, or specifically when I was 9, when my daddy died, they told me don't question God. Like I ain't had no relationship with no God at 9 years old. I had no real understanding of that. I was like, why not? My daddy not here. The one person that I confided in all my life has been taken out of my life against my will, or me or my brothers or my sister. Like we had no say in that. We didn't even get to grow old enough to understand anything. Yet my father was taken from me, but I was told to not question that. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at that as the same behavior and the temperament of some of these people in the community. When they say something, you can't question it. That's an issue for me. But man, for me, eldership, just like my respect for people, man, it's earned. I ain't giving it away for free no more. You gotta earn it. That's just where I'm at with it. I don't care how old you are. You know what I mean? I get out of the way, open the door for you. I'll let you speak first. And you know what I'm saying? I'll show you some type of some level of respect. But ultimately, I'm not gonna just give out my respect like that. Concrete.
Yo, peace to everybody. Appreciate Kofi for opening up the panel. This I really appreciate these types of discussions. These is the discussions that push the community forward. Every time you have a discussion like this, the community end up coming out on the other side in a better place, in my eyes. But man, I could take a piece from everybody, from what everybody said. Satepara, he said, he was raised that way, to respect his elders. And, Kofi mentioned he was raised by his grandmother, taught him a lot. And see, my parents was young, they was 17 when I was born, both of them. And so I spent a lot of time with both sets of my grandparents. So, 4 grandparents all together, you know what I mean? I probably spent from the age, being newborn to the age 10, I probably spent most of those years with my grandparents, you know what I'm saying? And so a lot of values was instilled in me, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the old school values, like respect your elders, whoever's older than you, they got the right of way, open the door, yes, sir, no, sir, all that kind of stuff, but I took those values with me, and I still have some of those values with me today. But my dad and my mom, they, like I said, when I was born, they were 17. So, once I got around 10 years old, I started to, my dad was more stable. He had finished his education. So, I was able to spend more time with him and be at home more, you know what I'm saying? And his idea of respect was a little bit different than my grandparents, you know what I'm saying? And, he didn't, my grandparents, taught me kind of not to question authority, kind of like what Sean was saying. But my dad always told me to question authority, never go with, what somebody is just saying. If you don't feel the right way about it, then you question it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I had 2 different kinds of perspectives of being raised. But as I got older and growing into my own ideas, I feel more like Sean. Like, yeah, I can respect you because you may be a little older and you may have a little bit more experience than me in certain areas, But as far as my overall respect, that has to be earned. You know what I'm saying? And you being, and as far as somebody, how wise somebody is, that has to be demonstrated. It ain't just about how old you are that determines how wise you are, because like Kofi said, I got a lot of homeboy, I was the young nigga in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like, most of my homies is 50 years old, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just 40, a lot of my homies is 50, 53 years old, you know what I mean? And a lot of them niggas is still, and excuse my language, I'm sorry, but a lot of them is still doing the same thing that I was doing when I was 16. And now here they 50 today, and they still doing the same thing. You know what I mean? But I'll digress and let Unc come on in and share his thoughts.
What's going on, fellas? What's up, Satepara? What's up, Sutek? Kofi, Sean?
Peace, brother. Huh?
Man, what's going on with y'all, man?
Mr. Good, man. How about yourself? Yeah, we good. How about yourself?
What up, man?
Yeah, man. I'm feeling the conversation. Shit. I don't know how to put it. I just learned at an early age that the older niggas in the hood was always trying to get over on you. And I'll never forget being in the alley, and we out there with sugar. All right. So I was about, I'm thinking about 13, 14, somewhere in there. Them older niggas, they about 18 years old, 19. You ain't really asking their age. And they shooting fucking BBs in the alley. And I'm like, yo, man, stop shooting them damn BBs, yo. Better not shoot me, yo. They shot me shit again. Like, when I come out there, little boy, and whip your motherfucking ass. I was like, all right. And so we came out there, and I whipped this motherfucking ass. It was funny as shit. And just from that point on, we realized, yo, that, you know, older dudes, man, should act a certain way. Like, why are you trying to push up like that? You know, like, what? Like you out of order with that. So, like, an older person, if you older, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it should be in your behavior towards me. And so, you know, I'm not giving you the credit for being older because you're older. So I learned that early on. Like my grandmother, it wasn't necessarily me saying, no, sir, yes, sir. But it's the way they carried it, the way they carried the whole situation, which actually, you know, had me treat them the way I treated them. And I think that's what I'm saying. Like, it ain't about that you older than me, it's the way you act around me. So if I'm with James Smalls and them and James Smalls come in town and we go hang out, it's just the way he carry himself. If y'all know what I'm saying, like, it ain't like come on, man, like I'm not a kid, man. Come on, we're gonna go get a beer. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink, you drink, but we grown, we all grown, and yeah, you older, and you kicking some shit that I might not know because you older. But it's just the general respect we have for each other. And so I kind of, you know, my experience with elders when I came to the community was like, man, it's just the way it's the way we acting towards each other. And then when I realized that people was trying to play, they was listening to me, they was trying to play the African card. Like, man, we ain't did no in-depth study on how elders are African. And I'm thinking you trying to play me because you always use it as your ability to always don't let me be able to say what I need to say, right? And I always make it seem like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and I don't know no better. And I realized right there, man, that wasn't for me. So I immediately made sure that those rules didn't apply. I ignored those rules that don't apply. If you say something stupid, it's just stupid, no matter how old you was. And so I just proceeded on creating the world I wanted to see around me. And so that's why, you know, Corey know how it is. Everybody know how it is. Like, I ain't the one because I'm older. Y'all gotta listen to me. I appreciate the respect, but generally speaking, the brothers and sisters respect me because that's just the way I carry it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it is what it is. So for me, it ain't about your age for real. It's about the way you carry yourself. Because I was always dealing with older people. I'm 13, 14. I'm having to deal with older people to get the shit we was trying to get from. So, we did our thing at a young age. So I always had to deal with the older guys. And I learned that it's just the way you carry yourself is the respect you're gonna get. And I just think that corny, I'm gonna play you with the African card. And I realized, no, I'm just as much African as everybody else. The shit gotta work and it's gotta make sense. At the end of the day, the information is bigger than all of us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's cool. I've been around slightly longer, right? But the reality is, like, the information got to get passed on from generation to generation. And not only information, but the right information. No one person, no one idea is bigger than us getting out information to the next generation. Because typically speaking, I thought, right? I understood that it was about us putting forth real, genuine information. And anybody trying to promote misinformation is fair game. Just because you're older don't mean you can't get shot at. We're not fighting, right? You're 6 years old. I'm not going to swing on you. We're having conversations. Get heated because we're men. Always felt like the most important thing we had was passing on the proper information. So I think that's what's clear now these days. And so an elder is someone who's willing to continue to promote proper information, proper methodology, and not willing to treat people as younger than them because they just came into the game. But they're willing to teach them the game, give them information so that they can be in a position that I feel like I'm in now, right? And I'm only 54, but I'm in a great position because I can fucking sit my ass down and learn from y'all. Before I ain't had to wait till I got 60 and 70. Because no one put the block in there. No one said, oh, y'all Kofi, y'all niggas write books, y'all can't write in the books. I'll call you out. I do that. It was a clear environment of learning. It was a clear. I saw that, yo, you always talking, yo, you think you got to go down, you think you know more than me. Nah, that never was the environment that we came up. And I'm talking about the community. Like I made sure that environment wasn't set. That's just real. So at 54, I can hang out. I can read y'all books and just laugh and say, damn, if I would have wrote that book, I swear I might have said that. I would have put that in that book. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I be when I read Dr. Ben's book. I'm like, damn, man, I would have said that shit like that too. And I'm saying that's the type of person I feel like Dr. Ben was. I can relate to him because he wasn't trying to hear all that shit. Now don't get it twisted. When I'm saying Africa, these people use the African thing against us. It's not what we're doing now. It's not what Demasi is doing. Or Kofi Paisai research team. Generally giving you the proper information on Africa, what it is, what it's not. That's not what they was doing. They was using it as some mystical place that should never be challenged. Like it was all right at all times about everything. They use it against us. They use it. They gave it to us as if it was a weight and it weighed us down. Like there was no more information to learn about Africa. That's how they played us. Dr. Ben never did that. He never did. He simply told you the truth based off what he knew. And so I'm appalled when people like Chief Corny-ass X make a statement that Dr. Ben was trying to brainwash anybody. I've been around niggas that was trying to brainwash you. I came up in the street when niggas be trying to fake you out to get you. I've been around Malachi, you know what I'm saying, when he was brainwashing niggas. But I couldn't consider Dr. Ben and them like that. I just couldn't consider that. So when a person says that just because Dr. Ben made a mistake or just was flat out wrong about something, like what that mean? Like,
Hey,
like he sounds like
Ben, do you think, okay, if Dr. Ben made a mistake on something and someone came to him and say, hey, Dr. Ben, hey, did you look at this? Did you look at that? Would he feel disrespected? Do you feel that Dr. Ben would have been disrespected if he made an error? Someone pointed out his error respectively, showed him the proper information or the new data that has came. Do you think he would have been disrespectful toward that person, or you think he would have been appreciative for that person coming forth and showing him the mistake and the error that he made? I mean, and it also goes back to the qualifications when we talk about being an elder. You know, one of the qualifications also is integrity. It also is good character. So,
well, if you wanted to challenge Dr. Ben, man,
Yeah, also it's
John Henry Clark had a superior library, yo. They had like, what I'm saying is, if you would have to just come correct. I'm the same way you gotta come correct. We don't feel disrespected when somebody comes at us correct. When Kofi them, Sean and them, whoever, Corey, I don't feel disrespected when, you know, we had fun. I don't feel disrespected. You know what I mean? I feel disrespected if you come at me and this shit don't be proper. So I ain't got Dr. Ben. Nah, he wouldn't have did that because he had a scientific mind. That would go against the rules and regulations of science. DI's the same way. Like he tell you, like, but they told you should challenge them. They told you that people was gonna come. Chancellor Williams said the same thing. He said there's gonna be younger people gonna come up. They're gonna produce these study teams. Fuck it, I felt like he was talking about me.
Okay, so right there.
When I read the stuff, he was talking about y'all.
Yeah, well, right there, where you said they wanted us to come behind them, right? They wanted us to come behind them. They wanted us to build on their work. We've been stating this for a while. So why is it when some of the elders or some of the elders' followers attack individuals like ourselves that is only doing what the elders say, and the same people that feel like we're attacking these elders, or someone is attacking these elders because they are challenging their information, and these same people that we're challenging the information, they'll say they sat at the feet of Dr. Ben, they sat at the feet of Sheikh Anta Diop, a Chancellor Williams, all these individuals, but makes me feel like that they just capping, that they didn't actually sit at the feet and study the works of these individuals, because these individuals have told us to come behind them. Don't take them for their own word. Come behind them, build on their works, expound on their works. But a lot of the individuals that people are calling elders in this so-called conscious community, when certain people say certain things about their information, they feel like the youth is attacking them, you know what I'm saying? Or the people that follow them, or, you know, feel like we are attacking them, and they are elder and they are off limits because they older than us.
No,
Hey,
they just
hey,
never.
Kofi.
You answered the question. They never read the book. They was fronting on this, y'all. I realized a lot of people fronting. I realized that a lot of elders that you think is elders was fronting, y'all. And maybe they just didn't understand what the hell they was reading. I think, like, I'm saying that Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark, and this is real right here, Chancellor Williams and them, do y'all realize how far ahead they was of their contemporaries, y'all? And the people they was teaching didn't know what the hell they was saying. And it took us to really come behind them to know what the hell they was saying. Like, you know how you talk to a group of people and they be like, yo, we don't come from monkeys, and they say it a million times, no matter how many times you say it. Go ahead and knock 30 years off of that. Go back 30 years, yo, and imagine Dr. Ben saying Australopithecus, Zinthopithecus, and he's trying to say that the Europeans was using European names to name the fossils. They, first of all, they couldn't even comprehend the fossils. I'm saying just the general public of black people and the general level of education that it takes to get to this point. We are privileged because we have the internet and we can go to different universities without leaving our house, from our cell phone in the car. It wasn't that. You had to have books. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. You had to drive to libraries. Wasn't no Amazon, Google, Wikipedia. You had, listen, I had a set of encyclopedias, dog. How many of y'all had sets of encyclopedias? You're gonna look at me and say, you're gonna laugh at me.
I did.
Okay, so
I had 3.
they was ahead of their time. I truly think that we're the generation that was really supposed to understand them and further the work, yo. I truly, I'm telling you, what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing and the way it's going, and look at the books that was written after Dr. Ben and them and John Henry Clark and them, right? Look at the material. Go grab Infodici's work, grab anybody that put it in writing, yo, and then you'll know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm thinking Infodici, Shemaz, and them was supposed to speak to the spooked out community. That's their job. They were supposed to talk. They were supposed to continue both the pseudoisms that they probably didn't even know was pseudo, but it was spirituality, and the Africans created everything, all the karate poses. The hell with Japan, the hell with China, the hell with all that. That's what they supposed to do. What I always wanted to do was to follow Dr. Ben and them and John Henry Clark and John Jackson. They didn't take that road. They were produced like a Infodeci. It was like Bobby Hemming and them niggas. You know, the work had really stopped, yo. You know what I'm saying? Now I saw bring some brothers on that y'all might not have heard of or may have heard on, that's, you know, keeping in line with certain things. But I'm saying, but they're able to speak to the general public and the young brothers and sisters, yo, that's what the hell we charge with and bringing the real information. So, nah, they ain't really read them works. I mean, come on, yo. How you gonna argue over something in a book that you claim you read. Come on, yo. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Nah, dog, they ain't that shit. And they didn't comprehend what they was reading. I'm gonna say
Yep. All
couldn't
right.
have.
Yeah, I believe it. I definitely believe it. Corey Curry, and then we'll let Rocky and then Nemesis come in, and then we'll segue into the second topic about the teachers. That's about the teachers. So Rocky, you can unmute your mic, and Brother Mathis, your questions is all the way up in the thing. I'll try to stroll back. That's why I was telling you, if you wanted to, you can jump on the panel and you can ask your questions directly to whoever you may ask. You want you to answer the questions, or if you want us all as a collective to answer, feel free to jump on the panel, man. That's why it's an open discussion about this topic. But Corey, real quick, I know you wanted to say something, and then we'll let Rocky and then Nemesis.
Yeah, Unc kind of touched on it. I just wanted to say, like, you know, a lot of people don't read their works, and I'm not sure if it was Sean or Unc who brought it was a I think it was like a memoir or something of Shangat Diop. He talked about how he wanted the youth to come behind and you know, build on what he had, not just stay stagnant. You know what I'm saying? And then also I wanted to make a point too that, you know, being an elder to me, at least in my opinion, is about what you leave behind. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I can't become an elder if I don't leave nothing behind for my kids to build on. You know what I'm saying? Or make it easier for the ones, you know, easier for the ones that's coming behind me. You know, that's you into the realm of eldership.
Okay, that's what's up. Rocky, you can unmute your mic, and then after Rocky, Nemesis, you can I think I'm saying his name right. You can go.
All right, peace,
Peace.
y'all. Peace.
Peace, brother.
So this comment was kind of it pertained to what y'all, or when I popped in, what y'all was on. I think it was Sean that was talking and explaining how he felt about certain elders when they do certain things. Everybody kind of echoed the same sentiment, and I agree with it for the most part. But one thing I just want to chime in and add is that the elders forget they raised the next generation, the generation that they criticizing. When the conflict is there, I think that's a big thing. Especially for me, sometimes if you might get judged by your elders, not necessarily talking about in academia, but it's like you raised me to be how I get my mode of thinking from you. You know what I mean? So that's all I had to say on that one.
Okay, brother Nemesis.
Strong point right there.
Right. Yo, peace. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What up? This is a great topic, and it's something that I was speaking on earlier with a couple of friends of mine when I was out. And it's really on. Everybody has said exactly what we were saying. And one of the things Rocky just said, and he mentions it to me a lot, is we overlook exactly what the youth are going through, looking at ourselves as elders or looking at ourselves as teachers. You know, we might not actually take into account what the youth are actually looking for. And that's because we have certain things in our minds that we want to put forth or push out. And we don't ask the proper questions. That's all I really want.
Okay. Peace. So what we'll do now, man, since we heard and I don't see any, Brother Mathis, we're trying not to keep the show too long, man, because we got two various topics kind of similar. I wish you would have jumped on the panel. Unless anybody on the panel remember the two questions that Brother Mathis had, I don't have time to stroll back up and down. That's why we ask you to come on the panel, brother, and you can state your opinion. You can ask your questions. You can make a statement. You know, that's why we put the link out there. But we'll come back to that if you pop on the panel or anybody, one of the brothers find your questions. We'll be glad to answer the two questions that you say we are skipping over. I didn't see them in there, and it's a lot of people talking in
They
there.
go
So
one
again,
round,
you
Cole.
okay. Brother Mathis says this question is off topic, but I would like to ask, what is an African, and who is considered an African? Um, I'll mention it real quick, and anybody else can come behind me. Okay, he said the question off topic, but what is an African?
That's way
Okay,
off.
yeah, that really is way off the question. Well, let's go into the next one. How much older do a person have to be over a younger person to be an elder? Again, we're speaking, Brother Mathis, from an African perspective and an African worldview. I don't know if you came on too late, but me and Sean wrote 2 articles. Sean has a blog site where he writes, where he wrote articles before we started writing books. I have a blog site where I was writing articles, and we read from both articles some of the things that qualifies you to be an elder, and your age does not qualify you from an African perspective in order to be an elder. You have to meet such qualifications, especially when you start to study those rites of passages, and look at those different demarcation stages. One, let's say adulthood. Let's just say the adult. Some people reach a certain age and they're not even considered adult in some of the African cultures, as far as their villages and clan, because they didn't meet the qualifications. There are certain things that you have to go through life. The same thing that we have to go through in life, the initiations that we go through when we go to school, those levels of education, you know what I'm saying? And once we meet these levels of education and grooming from your grandparents, your mothers, etc., then we can go off into life and apply what we learned at home and what we learned at school, and etc. So it's the same thing when we're dealing with those rites of passages. So one must meet these qualifications. And one, before you even become an elder, you have to be recognized as an adult in your own community, your own clan, your own society, and your own family. So there are different initiatory rites that one may have to go through. There are different levels of education one has to go through when you are exiled from the community into what they call the sacred forest or the sacred grove, when you study these rites of passage or these initiatory systems. So one is exile and they go through an educational phase, whether it's 3 months, whether it's 6 months, whether it's up to a year. And once that person comes back from being exiled from the community, he begins to go through his process of being recognized as an adult and showing the things that he learned, and then taking those things he learned back to the family, putting those things off in the community, and etc. So it has nothing to do with the age. It has a lot to do with the things that you are learning when you're going through these certain initiatory rites. But hope that answers your question. If anybody want to follow behind me, you can. If not, we're gonna go into the second topic of this open discussion.
Hey,
I
Cole.
heard somebody smack. Go ahead.
Cole. I just like to say that, fundamentally speaking, all human beings on planet Earth are African. In the literature, you'll see African and non-African. When you see the word non-African, they're not meaning that they're not African. They're simply saying that the mutation occurred off of the continent of Africa.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. But
That was to his first question. I just been doing that.
Right. So I mean, but that was way off topic. But yeah, okay, let's get to the second part of the question. I mean, the second part of the build is are the teachers jealous of the students? And what we mean by are the teachers jealous of the students is, I know, I'm just speaking from, I'm speaking from this so-called conscious community. In this conscious community, we have a lot of people that say they are scholars, a lot of people that say they are teachers, they're historians, whatever they call themselves, right? And they have people or followings, people that follow them, right? Or even these people that are called themselves teachers a lot of times they make money off of their teachings. So they put on seminars, they do YouTube videos, YouTube seminars, they do conferences, they do online calls, they do etc. In order to make money, they make money off of teaching, and a lot of us, fall in that bracket for as whether one of our favorite teachers, we took one of their online class where we talked to them directly and got guidance and toolages from them, whether we took classes and etc. So, and what we started to see is that it's okay to be a student, to be under someone's tutelage, such as this person, that person, and that person that may be respected and make money off of teaching and is well respected off of teaching. And my thing is, as being a teacher, and it's just, this is my opinion, and someone else can give their own opinion, is, and I'm gonna say this, like far as teaching my kids, like I try to teach my kids to be better than I am. And if I was to teach online class or even create an institution where I have a small class or small institutions of different skill levels of skill sets of information, I would try to teach my student to be better, than I am. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm seeing is that the student is now becoming the teacher, or the student is now may be surpassing the teacher, or the student may have accomplished more than the teacher, and the teacher feel a certain type of way about it by not supporting the student, because the teacher may feel like the student is achieving more than he is, or the student is taking some of the attention off of him, or the student can possibly make it the same amount of money, or even position himself to take over his spot if that's the case. So my question is, do y'all feel like, or am I the only person seeing this? Do y'all feel like that some of the teachers, some of the teachers are now becoming jealous or not even supportive of their students through their transition of learning from that person and taking what that person gave them and applying that and trying to do some of the same things or even do better than their teacher have? For anybody on the panel, or we can just go down the line. We'll start with, I see Satep. Oh no, let's go with Satep, then we'll go with Sean, Sutek, Corey, Rocky, and Nemesis. And if anybody in the chat, got anything, feel free to jump on the panel or put your question in the chat.
What's up, Coffee? So you asking me, does the teacher, just ask it one more time, that way I know what you asked.
Well, I was trying to explain what I've seen. So, and I'm asking you, am I just talking, or have you seen some of the same things where you see a student was under a teacher and the student have become just as successful as the student, and the teacher has now feel some type of way, whether it is not acknowledging that person's accomplishments, not supporting that person, not directing anybody that he or she teaches to those person's products or accomplishments or achievements?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, but it may not bother me as bad because I know what it is. But I'll definitely, to answer your question, yes, I have seen it. Is it right? No, because we're trying to create this thing where we support each other. We support you and your endeavors. We will want you to support whatever the student has going on. I don't know. It's just one of them things to where it's like, we're trying to create a society where I scratch your back, you scratch mine, but it's like, okay, we done supported your whatever you had going on, and you ain't shooting back. So yeah, I've seen it, Kofi.
Okay. What about you, brother Sean? He may be petting his little Shih Tzu over there, Tyson Bedford. What about you, Sutek?
Yeah, I've seen this happen in the community. Um, it just depends, man. I guess it just depends on the situation. I think if the student has gained as much momentum as the teacher, maybe it's some type of animosity, some unsaid or unspoken of animosity. Um, you could be threatening his livelihood. You know what I'm saying? You could be threatening the way he make a living, especially if you are bringing some more modern and more up to date information than what the teacher is bringing. And I noticed that a lot of these so-called elders in the community like to stay stagnant, intellectually stagnant and stuck on old information that they may have learned on their way up, but we found new information and that might not necessarily be the case anymore. It's just that's one of the things about being older, though. You like to stay stuck in your ways. So yeah, I've seen it. It's not a good look.
What about you, brother Corey?
Yeah, I see a little bit of it too. Like my brother just said, we learn new information. You know what I'm saying, and so knowledge advances. And like I always say, I always troll in all the chats that I'm in. Um, always challenge the sacred. You know, you got to challenge what's sacred so that we don't end up the way Brother Santepara said, staying stagnant. Um, in the same position, and I think these elders, it's to me, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful or nothing, but to me, it's like a religious thing, where religion don't change the information, and the ones who have the information or the elders have the monopoly on the power and the knowledge, and so anything contrary to that power or to that knowledge is looked down upon, especially in this Black community. I mean, if you challenge something one of the elders said, it's like, oh, now you're trying to tear down the Black community now, because we have different or better information than what they had, and you know I heard you say you raise your kids to be better than you, and that's how my dad raised me. And so I think we have to start our own traditions that are progressive traditions, because I think that the Black community have a lot of stagnant traditions. Not to say that all of them are bad or counterproductive, but we have to be where we can be fluid and stay up to date in reality. And so I think that's where the gap lays, and I think that's where some of the so-called elders fall short. People are afraid of change, and change is kind of scary, but that's what being a pioneer is all about, and that's what being, you know, a frontiersman is all about. You know, it's about being uncomfortable, and it's about being in a position that's you don't know the results all the time. So, you know, I just, you know, that's just where I'm at with that.
No doubt.
Hey,
Rocky, go ahead, Sute.
hey, before we move on, you put a comment up from My Name is Tika, and it said
I was going.
if the student can surpass the teacher, then the teacher is not a good teacher. And Corey, you
Yo,
kind of
Sute,
touched on that.
that
Hold
went right
on.
into my thought though. That went right into everything that I was just sitting here thinking though. And before she even put that up, I was sitting here thinking that because that was what one of my professors opening statements in the class. She said when we came into class, I'm here to make effective teachers. I want y'all to surpass me. If y'all cannot surpass me, I'm not an effective professor. That means I failed. Y'all should be able to take this information and pass it forward to people that you communicate with.
Exactly.
So
And
that's why
a teacher or elder would be a spiritual or intellectual father to that student. So you would want that that student to surpass you in his or her intellectualism. Just like you would want your kids to surpass you as a man or a woman or a mother or a father. You feel me? So you hit it right.
Exactly. And that's exactly how I took it when she said it in the class. I was like, wow, she wants us to be better than her. She's going to push us to be as best as we can. She's going to make us uncomfortable. And if you're not uncomfortable in learning, you're really not learning. That's one of the one things that I took from that. And every professor that I had at that college, they did their best to make us uncomfortable. Every last one of them. And I think that's what's wrong with the community and a lot of the people that some of us have learned from. Some of us are learning from. You know, they've gotten comfortable with their position. And now that they've gotten comfortable with their position, you know, they don't want to make themselves uncomfortable learning new information. Because then that means what? They have to challenge their own position and their own status. And if they have students who are learning new information, that means their students are challenging them. So that kind of puts them in the connect.
I agree. Rocky, you got anything? And then if Sean back, we'll let Sean. Brother Rocky.
Nah, I don't really got nothing. I'm just listening on this one.
Okay, Brother Sean, I think you back now.
Yeah, man. I just want people to just to take away. If there's anything that I want people to take away from the conversation, this discussion is simply this: we're not trying to define what an elder is or what an elder's role is in your life. We are only here to promote the actual behaviors and the significance and the importance of eldership from an African perspective, African worldview, and African, custom and tradition. So, with that being said, not everybody will make the cut. Not everybody will align with how elders are seen on the continent, and they can, and a lot of these people that we actually, just label that like we label everything else. Wouldn't be seen as that in African traditions, among the people. They'll find the flaws in them, culturally find the flaws in them. So we just needed, uphold some type of command of what we're trying of how we're defining that word. It's just like calling everybody Baba. It's just like calling everybody doctor. It's just like you know what I mean, mislabeling all these other people who haven't earned anything at all. We just have to do a good job collectively with how we perceive that to be. And we need to build relationships with those who share that same worldview with us. That's why I said I can't, or Kofi, or anyone else on the panel can't define that word for you, or anything like that. But you know, if you can find in someone that has been influential in your life and paid forward the way for you to be able to grow and develop under their tutelage, and are meeting that definition, then I would continue to encourage a relationship for not only you but the people around you to be built with that person or persons, and y'all continue to elevate because you know we all ain't gonna see eye to eye on everything, but we can make up a vast majority of people moving our people forward in things of that nature. So man, I really just appreciate the opportunity to be able to call some of the people that I call an elder to me, based on how it's defined for me and my worldview, and how the ancestors saw the word and deemed it. You know what I mean? Because also when you say the word ancestor, there's a such thing as a living ancestor, and many living ancestors would be considered to be elders, and you have to think about that. You have ancestors who've transitioned, and you have ancestors that are living ancestors. Like one of the most influential living ancestors, right, was called a Nana, right? His name is John Reclaw. When he called a Nana, and he embodied everything. He embodied what an elder and is from an African perspective. That's why, you know, the Ghanaians, they saw him as such, and they appreciated his work and everything that he did. I'm not saying that other people wouldn't, but I mean, a lot of us can't even put his shoes on for some of the stuff he did, or other people. So, you know, I'm gonna quit rambling, man, and I see Seneb in the building, so peace to Seneb and let him get a shot and go in, because I know everybody else have spoke already.
Right. Peace, brother Sunil.
Peace, peace to everyone on the chat. Peace to the brothers on the panel, sisters on the panel, if any. No, I don't think there's an issue with challenging the elder. I think it depends upon what the subject matter of the individual or role the individual is to play within the community. If it's education, if it's history, if it's rites of passage, management, or whatever it is, as long as that elder is esteemed and is maintaining the culture and identifying with the youth, when there's nothing wrong with changing the culture, but as long as the premise stays the same. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do believe there's a level of attack that's necessary. And I do think at the same time it's a healthy balance. We approaching things the right way, highlighting things the right way. If an elder is elder, they shouldn't take any issues with it, because it's the role of the next generation to challenge the information, to particularly when it's for the betterment of the collective. So I can agree with the notion. I don't think anyone who truly is for uplifting someone would care when they get to a certain point where you have to let them go. Sometimes they get to a point where an elder has gotten you to a position where his or her capacity is exhausted, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with finding another teacher or even getting a recommendation from the elder when it's seen that you got into a certain plateau. So I think a lot of it is predicated upon ego and wanting to be the so-called proponent of a certain level of information. So I think once we see this, it's a black thing. It's a overall griot storytelling history of maintaining our culture and our history. and make sure we're passing down those particular cultures so they're not lost in history. And that's it.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I just my where it comes a problem for me is the like you said, I don't have a problem with and none of us do have a problem with if it's something that um somebody challenge of ours that may not be correct. Like I said, I always welcome. That's why especially when I do certain presentations, when I do presentations, I put a disclaimer out there. And when I put that's the whole purpose of me putting a disclaimer out there. And I encourage people to go behind me and vet the sources that I put at the end of my presentation when I'm presenting some information, or even when I'm writing an article and I'm presenting my side or my opinion on certain things, or writing a book, or contributing to a book with certain chapters or whatever. I have no problem with people coming behind me. And if I'm in the wrong, um, and someone comes to me, tastefully and respectfully, I have no problem with listening, because to me, it's all about learning. So my ego wouldn't come into play where, I want to say that this brother is attacking me um, because he has a problem with something that I said, or some information that I conveyed to someone or in a publication. But a lot of these, and again, we're not disrespecting anybody. Like I said, we're just saying that a elder in um hold on, your elders might not be my elders, and that's cool. That person or persons are your elders. Somebody let Sean back in, please. I'm trying to let him back in. He won't even let him back in. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, he in here.
Okay. So yeah, and it's cool because that person or persons are your elder, and I say that person is not my elder. Again, I'm looking at the actions of that person. So, and I'm looking at everything from an African worldview, and that's cool if you don't look at everything from an African worldview. We not telling y'all to look at um anything from an African worldview. We just telling you, and a lot of these people that we're putting these titles on, like Sean said, we are beginning to put these titles on people loosely. We calling people doctors, we're calling people professors, we're calling people babas, we're calling people elders, and but it's okay, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. I'm just saying that's not my elder. You know what I'm saying? That's not my elder. And a lot of times I have an issue when someone says something about an elder and they does it respectfully about some information. That elder feels like because he's older than I am, I should shut up and be quiet. I shouldn't say nothing, even if he's going to continue to push a certain type of information where somebody take this information and am I still on? Can y'all
Yeah, we
still
can
hear
hear
me?
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody. Okay, man, I'm tripping today. So, and people begin to parakeet what the elder or even a so-called teacher is saying, because if y'all pay attention, a lot of people in this so-called conscious community, or even not even in this so-called conscious community, but they are trying to learn, right? And a lot of people, and even the people that's been watching Kofi Paisai Research Team, NBK, Amun Ra Squad, Pseudo Quillers, Dagger Squad, Masu Warrior Clan, the Real Black Atheists on Fire, Sarnetta TV, Baba TV. It's a couple of other ones. I know that is very popular that people are watching. A lot of times those people that's been watching it for years, they still don't go in and study and research. So they still wrapped up in the mentality of the people that we so-called when we came out of when we so-called came into consciousness, we began to bang on the institutions that we come from, the schools, the churches, the mosques, and the synagogue. And we have a problem with our people that's in those institutions that parakeets everything that the leader or the teacher is saying and they parakeet this information. They pass this bad information down from one generation to the next because the people is not going back to verify what these individuals are saying. So we're actually going back and verifying because we want you to go back and verify what we're saying. So when we see an issue or something or some outdated information, or even when you make a mistake, we understand why you made the mistake, especially in writing. When it comes to writing, and I keep stressing writing because sometimes, like we wrote several books in 2020, and let's say 2031, 2040, some things that we may not be accessible to in 2020, the next few generations may be accessible to, and we may have made a mistake, or there may have been some updates, and they have to go back behind us and update us so they understand why we made a mistake that we made, or we said what we said, or we held the position that we held. But I'm just saying that these it's not an attack, and it's okay for the youth or this new generation to critique someone that is older than us. And if we put these titles on these elders, then these elders, especially a lot of these elders that are in the community, they say they are African centered. A lot of them have the Kemetu names. I'm not going to say Kemetic. I'm going to say Kemetu because they call themselves the Kemetu or the Remich, or they have Remich names, or they have West African name, as such as myself. I have a Ghanese name, Kofi Paisa. You know what I'm saying? Other people have other West African names, Central African names, you know what I'm saying, that they're calling themselves because they're trying to attach themselves to their ancestry. You know what I'm saying? Trying to attach themselves to their lineage, so they give themselves a name, and some even adopt the culture and the identity of these people. And these very people that are doing it with these names and attaching themselves to certain cultures, they're saying, so I'm looking at it like, okay, well, they know better then, because I'm looking at everything from an African perspective. So when a young person come at you and critique something, I know what comes with eldership. Eldership comes with good character. And I know in order to be an elder, you had to go through certain things as an adult to reach adulthood. Then you had to go through levels of adulthood before you even get to the eldership. So, and you have to go through certain things before you become an elder. So when you saying you an elder, I know you're going to act accordingly. You're not going to call people out of the name. You're not going to disrespect the youth. You're not going to feel like the youth is attacking you because they're saying that, okay, this is outdated elder, a baba, a professor, a teacher. Can you look at this? Have you seen this? You know what I'm saying? But or a youth reaching out to them, and you not even want to pick up a phone call and talk to the youth. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be accessible to the youth because you feel like you're older and you reach the status where you feel like you don't have to talk to anybody, or even you feel like you don't want to talk to somebody because you feel like they may say something about something that you may have put out, you know, or ask a question about, and then even just go into what you talked about and elaborate further. You don't want that. So you disconnect yourself. And that's where I say, and we were saying, we feel a disconnect between the elders because a lot of the elders are not accessible to a lot of the people or in the youth. Even if we just have questions about certain things, they don't want to talk to us. They don't want to talk to us. You know, some of them said they don't even want to talk to you lit niggas. You know, that's what they don't want to talk to you lit niggas. So how you think that make me feel when I hear that come out of someone I respect, and I say that I deemed is an elder, say they don't want to talk to these little niggas. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to talk to us. So they don't want to be accessible to us, you know what I'm saying, for guidance, because that's what they're here for. They for guidance. They for tutoring. You know what I'm saying? They here for so many different things, but they don't want to do it, but they still want to hold the title as an elder. And that's where I and a lot of us as Kofi Paisa research team, we have an issue or take issues with these people that has these titles and not even exhibiting what an elder is, especially when they have the names, the African names attached to it. Again, you can say whoever you want to be your elder, but when you're saying you're rooted in African culture and African tradition, and you're rooted in these different customs, you know what I'm saying? These customs out of Africa. So this generation won't be the same as some of the elders. And again, it's no disrespect. I don't want to be where I feel like that I'm up in age and I done did certain things and I feel like I can't learn from a person from the next generation. You know what I'm saying? Or this brother is not even worthy of my worthy to be spoken to because he's done the work, but his books is not in the library. He hadn't actually had his feet on the grounds of Africa, so I can't talk to him, even though the brother is doing exactly what my teachers I sit at the foot of actually said is to put in the work, to go behind them, to critique them works. Do not trust their word. You see what I'm saying? So we are doing these things. Wow. 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 But that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. And again, it's no disrespect to the elders, it's no disrespect to the teachers, because we didn't touch too long on the topic of the teachers being studied, maybe jealous or whatever it may be when a student begins to do what the teacher actually taught them to do, and the teacher no longer supports, speaks, you know what I'm saying, congratulate, or even push people toward those people's work or their accomplishments or their accolades. I have no problem with those individuals neither. I did, because I'm speaking from a personal standpoint. Some of us are speaking from a personal standpoint, but I love those people. And just like the sister said, that with the statement that she made, that Sister Tiki made it, how can I be mad at that person, even though that person may have not acknowledged what we have done? That person may not have pushed anybody toward our publications, our clothing line, our 2 decks of cards that we, educational cards and face cards that we have, our articles that we have, or what we have done, where they seen us went from 0 to 100s, or even funding someone at the school, or having our books in Africa. You know what I'm saying? It hurts when your teachers are, your teachers that taught you directly does not have a relationship with you anymore, does not, you know what I'm saying, say anything about any of his students and what any of the students is doing. But I appreciate them, because just like the sister said, those teachers, they actually did their job. They did their jobs, and now the students are trying to be just as better as, be like them, or just as better as them, or accomplish what they have, or succeed and accomplish as more as they have. So I appreciate those teachers, because they did do their job. I've been ranting for a minute, man, and I see Brother Asar, peace to Brother Asar and Hotel. Anybody got anything else, man? And we're gonna close out the show. We getting ready to hit on the 2-hour mark. Should we wanted to at least do an hour and a half, but I know with these open bills, that's why I be scared of these open bills sometimes, because these open bills can kind of go on and on and on. But anybody got anything else? Anybody in the chat got anything? I'm trying to stroll up, man, and then we're gonna close out the show. Am I still on, or y'all still on the panel, or?
Yeah, we here now.
Yeah, we hear you.
I don't think nobody got nothing. Yeah, you hit it all, man. I was trying to see if I seen something in the chat too.
Yeah, I'm looking at Asar. Asar say, so what did he say?
Yeah, I put that up. You was going in. You ain't even see
I ain't even see it. Yeah, y'all are disrespecting the elders by having a YouTube. Yeah, man. But peace to Brother Asar, man. Brother Asar is definitely one of my teachers, man. He definitely helped us out in the process. I'm gonna say this too, man, and get off my soapbox. last year, and last year was a good year for Mossy Warrior Clan and Kofi Paisai Research Team. And it also shed some light, not on myself, but everybody in Mossy Warrior Clan and in Kofi Paisai Research Team, for as who we can trust, who we can't trust, who's capping, who ain't capping, who are truly your friends, who are truly not your friends, who are talking, who is just talking, who is not, and who is talking, and who's not talking. And I want to say I appreciate all the people that said what they've been saying in their videos far as helping. You know, we all say that when we get along and we build, man, whatever you need, brother, I got you. You know, we say that a lot when we on other people's platforms, or you know what I'm saying, or we on their platform and we sharing their platform and they sharing our platform. You know, we try to, you know, to the public, like we fool with each other and we rock with each other. And if we need something, just hit us up, because a lot of times we may not know. Like, and we officially became authors. We still knew authors, but we needed help. And the various people, such as the people that we deemed are teachers, and various people that we deemed were friends, we reached out like they told us to. And they were just capping. They were just talking. So a lot of stuff that we did last year, and we keep talking about, and people may be tired of us talking about the several publications. Like we that's something that we can be proud of. We kept trying to brag about that, and we did that we basically did a lot of that on our own. Like the books, several books. We put out the clothing line. We the books in Africa, the scholarship where we're actually taking our money, that the people that supported us and bought the books and bought the merch, and now we got the cars out. People buying the cars are selling out. So people are supporting, and we're taking that money and we're doing something with it. We the reinvesting so we can bring out more books. We can put out more clothing. Like we got a summer clothing line coming. I guarantee y'all gonna like it. You know, the decks of cards that we got out. We got we got the quiz and educational cards out. We got just put out the put a name on the face cards. We got those out. So these are things that we're able to put back to give back to the people. And at the same time, they're learning, and it's an equal exchange. You know what I'm saying? We're not asking for nothing. But back to the people that said what they said, man, we got you. We appreciate you for lying, because you let us know that you actually expose yourself to us. So we can't trust you anymore, because we know you're not trustworthy. And with us being turned down and turned down and turned down, we still was able to succeed. We still was able to put the books out. We were still able to get the clothing line out. We were still able to get the scholarship in Africa, where we funded the school to get the things in, and the books in Africa, and 4 schools that gave Journal Skills Academy. We were still able to do that, and we appreciate the little help that we had. Asar Imhotep, he helped us out. He built the website for us and gave me some insight on the business aspect a little bit. So I appreciate Brother Asar. I appreciate Brother Ankakek. He helped out a little bit. Ben helped out a little bit. But for the most part, everybody that we reached out to, we had to get it out the mud, and we had to learn things for ourselves and learn the business, the aspect of this and that, how to create a store, how to do this, how to design this, so we don't need a publishing company when it comes to the thing. And we're going to be talking about a publishing company coming soon, because we're definitely talking in the works of putting out a publishing company, because we had to do our own book covers, do our own body of the book, the artwork. We had to put our own book on the website design. So we started out with, you know, with Brother Jehudi with the advertisement. Then we learned how to do it on our own, where we can do our own commercials, our own things. So we appreciate those people who turned us down and sold us a dream like they was gonna do it. That made us have to get out and get in the mud and learn it for ourselves, man. So shout out to those people too, man. But man, that's it, man. If ain't nobody else got anything else, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end the show, man. I'm looking through the chat, man.
Much respect to all y'all, King.
I just want to say, Kofi, I appreciate, man, these conversations, man. The conversation that's considered, I guess, taboo in the community. You know what I mean? I think those are the ones that's the most thought provoking. And it, the ones that can actually provoke a change in your life. You know what I'm saying? So it helps you to reevaluate your situation and others' situation, and just be able to step outside yourself and see the bigger picture. And so I just appreciate you allowing me to come on, and I appreciate the whole platform and everything y'all doing over here, man.
No doubt, man. And you welcome back, man, anytime, man. Like I said before with you, Corey, like when y'all first started out with the pseudo killers, like you stood out more than me. And the reason why you stood out more than me was like the good character type of thing, and the way that you handle yourself, and even the situation with, again, Sean critiquing something from the pseudo killers and on the Mossy, and you was there, and you wasn't disrespectful, man. You wasn't disrespectful. You carried yourself in the chat, man. With good character, man, and you listen. So that stood out a lot to me. I was like, damn, bro, I like dude, man. I like dude. And then I wanted you to speak more. I never said it. And then now when I watch the pseudo killers, I'm starting to see you speak more and more. I'm glad you're speaking more and more. You are an intelligent brother, man. Like I said, man, you welcome back on this platform, man. Anytime, man. Anytime. You family now. You ain't a guest. So when you come on now, we won't be introducing you as no guest now. You family.
I appreciate that feedback and everything, and good character recognize good character. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't, I live by my words. When Sean critique, it's because whatever I said it on a public platform, and so he got the right to come in and critique and give his opinion on whatever it is I said or the pseudo killer said, and I don't feel disrespected by that. You know what I mean? So. I appreciate the feedback, and I appreciate y'all making me feel at home over here, and I will be back. So no doubt, keep it going.
No doubt. I think that was Nemesis. You were saying something, brother. I think that was you that opened your mic.
Yeah, that was me. I was just saying, first off, respect to all y'all, because before I even jumped on these panels, this Sabio, for y'all who don't know, I was sitting back listening to a lot of y'all, learn from a lot of y'all. I appreciate every last one of y'all. That's the big thing that we must understand, that, and that I understood when I started listening to most of y'all, that y'all were standing on the shoulders of greatness. And once I recognized that, all I could do was just, do my best to learn as much as I could, soak up as much knowledge and information as I could from you, brother, and see if it will advance me, and it has. So that's where my appreciation comes in for all of y'all. You muted yourself.
Okay. Oh, my bad, man. But yeah, man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Anybody else, man? Like I said, we finna get ready to end the show. We got 3 minutes.
Hey,
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick, tomorrow, either tomorrow or Tuesday, I might be coming on and asking a series of questions, and the people who get the most questions correct, either I'm gonna give like, I might give volume 3 to first place or a shirt to first place. I have to figure that out. But I've been telling the brothers, and I'm gonna calm down with the presentations for a minute, because I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention to it. Like, I have to go back and tell some of these people, or explain to some of these people, the things that I've already presented. And some of these people be the same people that be in the chat room when we do these shows. So the questions will be on some of the presentations that I've done in the recent past. mostly about Berbers and Moors, because that's what I've been mostly doing in the recent past. So yeah, I'll figure out the prizes, and I'll probably do that either tomorrow or Tuesday.
Yeah, and we definitely. I'm not gonna like really mention it now. I'm gonna wait till we have our business meeting. Um, we gonna definitely do something else because we like giving away too. It's gonna, and I guarantee, when we get ready to roll it out, we gonna let y'all know when we roll it out. We gonna be giving away like some stuff, and it's some big stuff. Like it's some good stuff. Like it's some good stuff, and we're gonna be giving away a lot of stuff. I already have majority of the stuff. Some of the stuff I'm waiting on, and some of the stuff once we figure it out, we're gonna be giving away tons of stuff. And when we get ready to roll it out, we'll make a good big announcement about what we're gonna need in participation, which is gonna be somewhat of what SUTEC is gonna be doing. Big participation. I'm talking about some big giveaways. So y'all be stay tuned. We're gonna try to do it at the end of April. Try to have a big rollout for that, man. Like I said, man, and it's gonna be talking about tons and tons of stuff that we're gonna be giving away. So y'all be on the lookout for that. And real quick too, just want to plug these again real quick. Let me see if I can blow myself up. See if I can do it. Is it gonna let me do it? It won't even. Okay. Damn. Okay, there you go. Now we just put out, and we talked about these people too. We just put a name on the face cards. Put a name on the face card. We already have. We have about.
You trying to blow your square up? Hold on, let me get
Yes,
this.
I did it. It went right back down. Okay. So we put out these last month. The quiz and educational cards. They sold out. Damn. They sold out. I got a new box in, and we done damn near sold out of the new box. We got to put a face on the cards. We got people that's been purchasing these cards right here. Put a face on the put a name on the face card. And these cards, again, for people that may not know, this is something we talked about. These cards are it tells you on the back of the card what the card actually is. These cards have the faces of our Black scholars, Black teachers, Black heroes, Black revolutionaries, and Black visionaries. So, and these are some of the people that we actually talked about. We mentioned John G. Jackson. And these cards are just for you to put a name on a face. And for people that don't know, you can just turn on the back of the card and you can see, and then you can go do your own research on who is John G. Jackson, who is this brother. So I mentioned his name. And I think most of everybody on the panel mentioned John G. Jackson name. We mentioned Sheikh Anta Diop. This is Sheikh Anta Diop. Bro, you're like, man, who is that? They can turn on the back of the card. They can see exactly who it is, Sheikh Anta Diop. We mentioned Sheikh Anta Diop. All right. Our Baba right here. We allowed to call him a Baba and an elder. This is John Henry Clark. And for people that may not know who these is, when you showing these cards to your family, friends, and etc., they can see who this person is, and then they can go do the research. Another one we mentioned a while ago, Dr. Ben. People may not know who this is. This is Joseph Ben Jacqueline. They can go and do the research on who these brothers is, man. These are some nice cards. I even showed you the people that I respect. I don't know if Asar on here, Asar if you on here. I don't know if you know, but I have put 6 cards of people I respect. Definitely, most of these are elders and ancestors, but some of the people that we revere. So a lot of people know who this is. This is Asar Imhotep. So if people that may not know, look on the back, it's Asar Imhotep. They can go research him and find out who is Asar Imhotep and actually what he is doing. You know, you can get these cards on KofiPice.tv.com. I wanted to throw that out there real quick. But man, that's it, man. If ain't nobody got anything, let me blow this off of me now. I ain't want nobody to be just looking at me. But like I said, man, go get both decks of cards, man. Go both decks of cards, man. Like I say, they selling out. You know, get your cards while, you know, I still have 1 box left. I got 2 boxes in. One of the boxes right here, you can see it don't got nothing in it. Then the other box, I got half a box. The other one's in there. So go to the website and get the cards, man. But anybody else, man, if there ain't nobody else got anything, man, we gonna hit this end button on there. And appreciate everybody, man, that tuned in.
Peace.
Okay. Where we first said ETM Hotel, which means to welcome in peace. So it's on the right for us to say Shem Imhotep. Shem Imhotep just means to depart in peace, peace and Black African power. Oh, and we'll see y'all Tuesday. I guess that'll be Tuesday with Sutek show, and then we'll be coming back. I'm not sure Saturday. We might have an interview on Saturday, late Saturday evening. A reschedule. I'm not sure. The time may be conflicting for me, but it definitely, if not Saturday, we have another interview. We'll be interviewing Dr. Oyama Ott at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Kofi Paisai TV this Sunday. So again, peace and Black African power. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.